Hello, my name is Magellan Egoyan. We're going to continue our exploration of Second Life geography in this third installment of the series, following the overview and the presentation of the very first Sims to have been created in the episode called Origins. Recall that a Sim is the name given to the 256 by 256 meter region that was originally managed on a single computer. Now remember that the first Sims were located in the central part of what is called today the northern continent, as shown in this map. Following the creation of these first 20 or so Sims, shown outlined in blue, red, yellow, and pink, that is, the lower area in the diagram, there followed several waves of land creation, including the inverted triangular region at the top of the diagram, outlined in white, the yellow-hatched region at the top, and an extension of these regions towards the right, east of the area actually shown. The Sims within the inverted triangle were named after colors, while the Sims to the east were named after gods from a variety of different cultures. We shall begin our exploration with the region called Green, near the westernmost edge of the inverted triangle. Green began as a campground called Camp Green, and it still has a fairground feel to it, with its wide variety of eclectic structures. Moving east from here takes us into Mauve, a Sim with the Linden Info Hub and an educational site called the Learning Center. The next region, called Mocha, has a rather peppered history. Originally destined to be a themed Sim, its rolling hills were flattened by the second wave of residents. It does, however, boast the Mocha Cathedral, a very interesting structure built by Nephilim Protagonist, as well as the Mocha train station, the first station in the Great Second Life Railroad, or GSLR, built in September 2004. This is one of two railroads that operate in the northern continent. Olive, still further east, was the first sandbox Sim, although it no longer has this vocation. The sandbox was apparently controversial, as it generated both noise and debris on neighboring residential regions, and was eventually moved to a different location. The land was then sold at bargain prices through a special lottery. Today the largest build is the McLean's Horse Farm, and Olive also hosts a second station on the GSLR, this one built in 2006 and early 2007. The next region east is a very pretty Sim called Slate, containing a Linden-owned river and the continuation of the Great Second Life Railroad towards the east. The river is crossed by a wooden bridge built by Ezar Fairlight, an early resident in the region, while the beautiful clock tower further east was constructed by Lord Fly Didgeridoo. The railroad continues northeast, clipping the corner of the Sim called Magenta, and running through Maroon and on into Periwinkle. It reaches its termination in the Sim called Purple. Now we shall cross from the colored Sim of Umber into the first of the Sims named after Micronesian gods, this one called Hiquelo, the god of the underworld. This takes us past the studio of Second Life sculptor Jefferson Saltery. The Papa Sim includes this delightful refuge that overlooks the intersection. The Riki Sim, still further south, is crowned by this eerily beautiful shipwreck on the mountain top. From there we cross Vari and arrive at the Solange Sim, consisting mostly of islands. Looking south from Solang, across Tilliter, we can just see the edge of Stillman, the sim where we began the previous episode of Second Life Geography. Now we turn west and move through Daharo into Boardman, characterized by its orderly residential layout and dominated to the north by the Chaos Gaming Theory Tower on the Tansim, and westward of that, the Kazanojin Tower on Grey. These sims are devoted to gaming since the early days of Second Life. Sandwiched between the two towers is a public sandbox in the sim called Plum. Northwards, we arrive in Lime, which is immediately south of Mocha, one of the sims we visited earlier. East of Lime is Rose, and this takes us into Teal, which is just south of Slade. We hence arrive back at the river in Slade from a different perspective than before. This completes our explorations for today. I called the episode Colored Gods, not just because of the names of the two sets of regions, but because the opening of these regions extended the scope of what Second Life was and would become. The early Second Life was a heavily planned landscape, but with the creation of these regions, the spontaneous nature of the Second Life environment truly emerged, following its own laws and its own gods. I hope you enjoyed the excursion. See you next time.